Good morning, everyone. The sun's not up, but I am. Fortunately, I don't know. I don't sleep, and when I do sleep, I listen to like audio tapes and lectures and educational stuff. But this morning, it's probably like 4:30, maybe 5 a.m. I've been up for a little while already. Took care of the animals and on my coffee cup, second cup actually. Um, but I had a thought about the hat that I had made for Rusty, the red hat with the black horns and the curly cues. So I thought, okay, let's design. I'm going to show you how I design things because, like I said, I can't follow patterns. First, though, Beverly Nutcher, I'm probably butchering her last name, and it's probably a very easy one to say. She did a crochet along for the snow owl hat. I don't know if mine looks like a snow owl or not, but this is my attempt. And of course, hers came out way better than this. But yeah, check her out. I'll try to link her below. And it's Beverly Nuchter, Nutcher, the Cat and the Prowl Creations. Anyway, so that's my attempt. So it's just really just a plain cap, and then I made the eyes separate, sewed them on, made the nose. I stuffed the nose a little bit just to give it dimension, and then this is the furries, which I was needling them in and or sewing them. And then I found out that crocheting them on top made it much more fluffy. So anyway, that's my attempt. And throw that to the side. All right, so we have a piece of paper, pen, my hands, and my leg. Because I'm still in my pajamas, obviously, because it's really early in the morning. So, how do I start? Let's think. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is for the cap. Well, let's use this as our example. For the cap part, this one doesn't have a rim on it. You can do it without a rim. I usually do my hats from bottom to top. I do that because I can use the bottom to see if it's going to fit around my head. I have a small head, so I usually give it a little wiggle room if I'm making it for somebody else. And then I just decrease, I decrease as I go up along. And I apologize if it's shaky, but I have you on a piece of wood sitting on the bed with me. Look at this. We're being cozy. How cool. So if you wanted to do a rim, basically, all right, so let's start with that. So, all right, so this is going to be our hat. So it's going to be basically, just a half oval cap. And the rim, look at all the cool shadows from all the different lights on our cathedral ceilings. So the rim, I'm just going to do a line here. This should be really more down into detailed. But anyway, I see little cat. Oh, I see big cat coming, so it might shake a little. So we're going to do a rim like I did on Rusty's. And I'm doing the squiggly line because you go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. When you get to the length that you'd like, try it around your head. When you get to the length that you like, what I'll do is at the end, while it's still in a long strip, is crochet along one end, then attach it to the top end and tie it. And that's where the rest of the cap part happens. That's where you start the rest of the cap. Now, on this rim, so write rim. Hopefully you could see this. I could try to write bigger. On the rim, let's say we're going to do a 4 stitch rim, which, about that size. So we're going to do 4 stitches. So chain 4. Okay. And then chain 1, because you're going to turn your work and turn. Now you can go into the, when you make your stitch, you have the 2 loops. You can go into both of those with your hook and go back down, you know, so here's your chain. Then we have the chain 1. Now you can go back through both of those if you like, and then do a stitch and turn around and keep going that way. That's a nice thick look. Or you can go back around and just go through the front post. And then when you go to turn your work, if you want to continue going through just the front post of each one, that's going to give you a even look, but it's going to be a little stretchy and not going to be quite as warm, I guess. Or you can go through and do the front loop, a front post, front post, and when you turn your work, go through the back post. And again, alternate. And if you alternate that, that's going to give you a real ribbing look, a ribbing effect. And I don't have anything here because all the hats that I made, we had a little family gathering, and everybody walked away with a hat. So I don't have any hats left. The only reason I have this one is because I finished it yesterday morning. Okay, and I'll probably keep that one for myself. So basically that's the rim. So decide whether you want to do just through the chain, you know, both of the loops, or do all of it the front loop, front post when you're going back and forth. That's going to be an even look, or the front and then alternate to the back and then alternate to the front. That's going to give you more of a rib looking effect. So that's your rim. So once you do your chain of your rim, you know, as long as you want, as it is a chain. La-di-da-di-da. Looks like a bunch of R's. And then chain 1, and then of course what I like to do, you don't have to do this, but if you'd like, is, because here's your strip, so then you're going to do a single crochet back through your side and then join this side to this side going up on the outside, or no, I say the outside, but I should say the wrong side. The right side is what you want to look at. The wrong side is what you're going to have attached to your head. And then if you do it where you have your tail, then when you join them together, you could just tie your tail to the yarn that you have. So say let's do the rim. And this one we're going to do the rim dark green. All right. Because that's what I woke up thinking about, dark green and light green. So we're going to do the rim dark green, and tie your dark green to that. So now we have a circular. All right, and we tied it. And this is our rim, and that's our tie. And we tied it off. That's this part. So now, to do the cap, also, with the caps, I like to use a 4-weight. I guess you would call that a worsted weight. A 4-weight yarn. It's just sturdier. Like this is 4-weight. It gives it some girth, sturdier. So when you're attaching like a horn or a nose or whatever on there, it's going to be able to hold that up. And also it's warmer, and and I think all of us have like mad amounts of 4-weight yarn, unless you're a sock maker. Then you got like the skinny stuff that I've yet to really work with. That it seems like a forever job. Okay, so that's basically that. Then now we've got our rim. We tied here. Let's attach. We're going dark green here. I don't know. We'll figure out the cap color. It's still early. I'm only on my first cup of coffee. Okay, now this, your rows of this, I like to do, if I'm going to be adding on like horns and such like that, I'd like to do a single crochet in the round. So you're not going to go to the back, chain one, then keep going, because you're just doing a single crochet. So single crochet in the round, which just means keep on going. And you get up to about, if we're going to do this where it's going to be a solid on top, when you get up to about here, you start doing a decrease. I like to do my decreases, if you're going to decrease, to make it, keep it round, decrease on one side. This is where, like a stitch marker would be good. So say I want to do a decrease. So I want to slowly decrease it here. I'll decrease it on one end, put a stitch marker, and then when I get to the other end, I'll do another decrease with maybe a stitch marker, then come back around, do, maybe another no decrease on the next one, and then to switch it up, do a decrease on the back with a stitch marker and a decrease on the front with a stitch marker, then maybe go around again without decreasing. And then when I get to more of the top where I really want it to start closing in, I'll do like every, so to decrease. Wow, let's spell. What the heck? All right, so when you're going to decrease as you're coming closer to the top of the cap, then like I'll do like 10, stitches, and then a decrease for one round, and then next row I'll go every 7 stitches and decrease. Then maybe every 5 stitches until I, scrunch it up. Then it goes to 3, and then you just want to scrunch it up. Then at the very end, I'll usually, there'll be a little bit of a hole, and I'll leave a tail, and I'll kind of sew it in to the stitches with the darning needle, and then pull the scrunch, tie it on the inside, because otherwise it gets sloppy. So let's design a hat. Enough of that crap. All right, so here's our hat. So now we've got a hat. This will be the front view. Our rim. I think I want to put little horns on here, so we're going to put little horns. Nope, that didn't look like a horn. But anyway, little horns on there. On either side of the tops. This is obviously the front. And if you've seen Rusty's red hat with the evil unicorn, steampunk looking thing, I had a horn on the front, which I might do on this one too. So let's do a side view here too. So again, here's our hat. Let's just speed up the thing here. So now we've got this hat that we're going to put horns on. This is a side view. And then here, we're going to attach a horn. Hers I had coming down like steampunk. Let's make this one more like a unicorn. So that's going to be the the horn sticking out the... I just thought of what you call people that are dumb, and you say the blank head. So that's going to be that kind of... We're going to call this the Horny Hat. How about that? This is the Mama G Horny Hat tutorial. Okay, that sounds good to me. I'll explain how to make those. Those are real easy. right, so this is going to have a horn. I think to make it more unicorny, I might tie a yarn here, and then it's going to wrap it around, and then just tie it to the bottom of the hat. Leave the string so that you can stitch it onto your hat. I hope you can see that. And if you pull that tight enough, I'm thinking that it will give it kind of a, that twisty unicorny horn look. So we'll make this part of the horn a light green, because I'm just feeling green today. And we made this rim dark green. So we'll make the horn light green. We'll use a dark green thread. All right. And then our ear horns, I don't know what else to call them, we'll make them dark green also. All right, so we'll have dark green, dark green, dark green, and light green for the nose horn, for lack of a better name. I don't know what you would call it. Duncan off the bed. And that's our Trilly. That's the dog. Duncan, I said get off the bed, please, now. And he listens really well. Well, lovely. All right, so that would be kind of the front view, side view. Well, it's still early, so just deal with me, please. Thank you. Sorry about, because I'm literally sitting on my bed. Did I say that already? I'm literally sitting on my bed. I don't know if you could see this, because I can't see the camera. This is my leg in my jammies and my socks, because it's early. So that's the front. So I did X's on hers, and I made them kind of different sizes to give the appearance of eyes, and that would be more of a coming out of the head as opposed to a nose. It'd be more like a unicorny looking thing. Could make round, like one round eye and then one X eye. That's kind of that's actually cute. Okay, so we're gonna do that. So we're gonna do one round eye and one X eye. This round eye, I'm gonna make that, let's use this cool yellow. Actually, we're gonna do just like that. A circular. So we're gonna make that yellow, because that'll look good with the dark green and the light green. So like that yellow, we're gonna make the X black, just so it stands out. In fact, maybe we'll do the black there. I don't know. Maybe we'll make the hat black. If we're doing yellow, black and green look great together. Nope, I changed my mind. We're going to make the hat part is going to be purple, because those are my two favorite colors. Okay, so there's going to be the eye. One little white piece right here for reflection. Circular eye, I'll go with a 3-weight. Just so it's not as bulky standing out. And in a magic ring, chain 10. Yeah, chain 10. Second stitch around, 2 in each. Third, so this is second round. Third round, chain 1, 2 in the next chain, all the way around. Final, I'm saying round, we'll do rows. Final row is all the way around with a single crochet. Leave a tail. And that's what you're going to use to sew your eye in. And I literally, are we still on here? Yeah, we are. Good. I don't know if you could see that, if it's showing. I just went into the loops or thereabouts, and then just stitched. Oh, that's the back. Stitched through and went around. I did put stitch markers. This is actually crooked, and that's why I'm so upset about it, because this is lower than this eye. This eye should be down here. It's really slight, but it's bothering the heck out of me. And I almost want to take this off just to move that down, that little hair. But if it's going to be a hat, I don't think anybody's going to notice. I will, but nobody else will notice. Like the little nostril holes. All right, so that's going to be the eye we're going to use. And then in your magic ring, there'll be a little bit of an opening. And what I did with a four weight, worsted weight, is pulled through and went through each of the stitches, see? And went directly across. So came out this side, went across, went to the next, into the stitch. So it's giving you that, where the yellow, like an eye would do. You know, the iris of your eye has the different shades. So pull it out, go opposite, go in, go up into the next one, go up to this one here, go to this one, come up, go to this one here. So you don't have as much of the yarn going, this is the knot, onto the back. And then there was one little extra guy, somehow that happened. And I came in, and then I went into the middle part, right where I started. So I was able to, you know, or maybe not this one, but this one. I was able to tie them together because they're really next to each other. So that's how I made the eye. And then, not that you could even notice, but I just pulled one little piece of white thread onto the inside of each of the eyes, just to give you the little reflection. If you're drawing, you usually have that little white spot. So that's going to be the eye that's going to go on this hat, this concept. So we will do a yellow eye with a black pupil, and then on the other side, just in between your stitches, you know, you got all your stitches here, just kind of embroider it down, slip it through, don't make it tight, embroider it back up, so you have a black X. That's all. That's pretty simple. Okay, so, and then I would do that also in a 4-weight because you want it to be thicker. What else we'd have to do on this? The horns. Those I have not tried doing yet. I only made the one Una in the head thing. Chain 1. Kind of what I did. Chain 1. And what did I do? Okay, because I wanted it kind of pointy on the top. I guess I chained chain 2, went back into my chain, so I went back in and did two chains into the, oh yeah, let's make that H way up there. 2 chains into that same chain. But what I did do is I chained in the very tip. We're talking about that tip. Loaded. All right, in the tip, instead of going through both of the loops, I chained into the outer loop. All right. I did that because it was easier. Also gives it more of a pointy tip, but it also gives you some girth on the inside. And I only did the outer part of that in maybe like 2 rows, you know. And then I was able to, you know, get my little bit of substance to get my finger through. And I might, you know, I'm just designing this verbally here and drawing it out. But as I make this, I'll probably videotape it. I'm sorry that you're shaking, but like I said, I think I said it that we're actually sitting on my bed. So if I breathe so much, it's going to shake. All right, back to the designing. So also with this, because we want it to have a little bit of a shape. So we want it to curl a little bit. Dear Lord, this is becoming almost pornographic. Okay, so to do that, I think how I did it was when you're crocheting in your round, and you wanna increase, because we're starting here. We're starting at the tip. I want so badly to draw this into something that would get me banned from YouTube, but I won't do that. On the tip of the hat, we're going to increase. What I did was I kept increasing on just one side. So I used a stitch marker, and I would go around the stitch, do an increase. Increase is putting 2 stitches in the same loop. Decrease is as you're going through, you don't pull the yarn through, you go through 2 of the holes. You go into 1, come up to pull the yarn back, go into 2, and then pull it back, and then go through 3 instead of just 2 like you would do in a chain. So that's how you increase. Decrease. So we're increasing here. So then the next one, I do another increase, move the stitcher down, increase. And if you keep increasing on the same side, it's going to give it a little bit of a bend. Where these ear horns, I might just make those straight. I don't know. If you're going to do that and you're increasing, then you're going to alternate like you did with the cap. You're going to alternate an increase or decrease, whichever, opposite sides, and then maybe in quarters. It just gives it a more flow, I guess. Like I said, I haven't really watched a lot of tutorials, and I don't, obviously I don't read patterns. So this is just stuff in my head. I've been crocheting and doing things for years, and I just make this up and see what works. So you do whatever. This I got to do something here, but this is making me giggle. Now we have 2 cats and a dog on the bed, and the Oscar de Wilde may be coming by to visit. Hi, Oscar. He keeps getting into scraps with the neighbor cat. Oh, he's off. So he's such a beautiful boy, and he keeps fussing with the neighbor cat, and get his ears all cut up, but that's all right. Just lost a hair now, So then after we do this, we're going to do the light green. I'm going to go from the inside. You know what? When we're starting the tip, I'm going to knot the dark green. All right, so let me just write a notation. All right, so we're going to knot the dark green yarn at the tip before we finish the horn, okay? Because it's going to be more difficult to flip that inside out and get that. So before working the horn, okay. So I'm going to have a green tip, and that's what I'm going to use to pull and hopefully wrap around. Just wrap it around the outside, tight at the end. And that should give it more of a, if you pull it tight enough, it should give it kind of that effect. And that's what I'm hoping is going to happen. So it's going to kind of give it that effect. More like that unicorny thing. All right, so this is going to come out, and it's going to do that. That's from a tip perspective. How long am I? I feel like I'm here forever. I can't even see. My gosh. You know, when you get old, everything gets small and fuzzy. I don't like that. All right, so that's basically the hat. So we decided we're going to do this purple. We're going to do these dark green, light green for the nose with a dark green swirly, a yellow, bright yellow eye like the owl, like this little guy. And then on the back, all right, so this is going to be, from this perspective, we took this hat here, turned it sideways. Here would be our X for the eye. And then we'll do the swirlies. And we're going to attach maybe 3 or 4 short swirlies on the front. And then in the back, we're going to make this the back, just for purposes of this. And on the back here, I kind of liked what I did with hers, where instead of it being in a row like a unicorn, it's went on the side, along the sides. So I'm going to do the same with this one. So this will have curly cues, 4 or 5. Make them. Those are really super easy. If you don't know how to make those, do we have a piece of paper here? Okay, so for the curlies, yeah, chain whatever. So if you're doing the front curlies, this is going to be the curlies on the back. For the front little short guys, you chain like maybe 10, maybe 15, whatever. Turn, and then do 4 half double crochets in each loop or chain, you guys call it a chain, all the way back up. Tie it, leave ends, because this way you could stick the ends on either side of a stitch. Tie it on the inside. So that is your curly. So we'll make several of those. The colors, I'm not going to be concerned with those colors at this point. I might have multicolored yarn that has like light green, dark green, and yellow and black in it. So I might make this black, the rim. So anyway, that's a hat, right? So that's going to be the horny hat. The 4 a.m. Let's design a horny hat tutorial. Yes, only here on Mama G Gear. Can you see this? I don't even know if you can see this. Every time I go to look up at you, or at the camera, which is you basically, my neck does these like cartilage on cartilage grindy things, snappy things. It's very sad. Anyway, so that is how I design patterns. And now the whole fun part is to make it, which I'll probably do that today. And I'll film it if I do, so this way you could actually, instead of just seeing this yucky piece of paper, think I have most of it figured out, right? 3 weight for the eye, 4 weight for the rest. Oh yeah, duh. In your horns, stuff them. If you have extra yarn, you could stuff it, or that, I call it fluff, you call it polyfill. You stuff it with fluff. Don't overstuff it. And you're leaving a tail on the end long enough where I do the darning needle. And again, like I did with the eye, just stitch into the stitches, pull through, pull it, go in, pull through, go in. Trying to keep it where you don't, you're going to stitch it all the way around. And then pull it into the inside. You're back to the beginning. If you left a little tail, tie that together, which is what all the kinds of things I did here. Tie that together. Weave the ends in if you want to be neat. I usually do 2 or 3, probably 3 knots, pretty strong knots. And then I cut the ends off, and sometimes they fall out, so I'm going to start leaving more longer ends and weaving them in, because when I made the hat for Rusty, I pulled on one of the curly cues and it fell out, and I had cut it really short. I had it enough to be able to tie it, but if you pull on it, it's going to come back out. So I'm going to have to reinforce stitch all of those curly cues that are on her hat that she has now, because I cut all the ends off and didn't weave them in. No biggie. So that's going to be our hat. I'm really curious to see how that's going to look. In my mind, it looks good, but that hasn't always transformed into something that out of my mind looking good. So I think I covered everything. So that's going to be our hat. How cool. So front, side, back. Up close to the horny horn tip. Okay. Hey, I love you guys. If you're still here, God bless you. Send me your address. I'll send you a hat. Unbelievable. Oh, I didn't realize you could actually see my leg. Those are my leggings. Hey, love you guys. I hope this was helpful. I'm going to probably watch this and then delete it. I don't know. I need more coffee. Bye, y'all.